what does early retirement look like for someone, let's say a retiree at the age of 55, who actually may be pretty close to that 59 and a half age? How are they affected, and what are their strategies for withdrawal at that age?
Yeah, there's some special rules that apply at that time frame. We deal a lot with veterans who maybe have served a 20-year career, so they're able to kind of fit that scenario that you just described, where they're starting middle, later than the average person, and they can still work and earn an income while they have a pension. And that gives them some unique characteristics to their plan that are very different. But to your point, I don't know if you just, pulled age 55 out of a hat for any particular reason, but there are some special rules at age 55. So first off, if you're 59 and a half or younger and you take money out of a retirement account, you're going to pay a 10% penalty. Or if it's a Roth IRA, you'll be able to take your cost basis, your contributions out. But once you get to your contributions, you're going to pay income taxes and a 10% penalty on that if you're doing all of that before you're 59 and a half. So retirement accounts, generally speaking, were designed for people 59 and a half and over. Now, what happens when you're 55, if you have a 401k and you don't roll over, so, you meet with someone, hey, you're going to retire. Hey, let's put it in an IRA. Let's do all these things and we'll take care of you the rest of your life. Well, when you're 55, if you leave money in the qualified plan in the 401k, if you retire at the time at age 55 or older, not 59 and a half, no penalty. So these are things to understand. Is the traditional path of going right to an IRA in that window of time. That's a unique circumstance. Many people will have an early retirement and need to take a little bit of income, but they're still working. There's some pathway to get kind of to the traditional age of retirement, let's say. Well, now they've got this money in the retirement plan. There's still exceptions to that rule. So we could take out money under substantial equal periodic payments, which is an IRS term, and there's a way for us to calculate how much you can take out for at least 5 years up until you're 59 and a half. So if you're 55, you'll be 59 and a half or 60 in 5 years. If you're 58 and you do it for you have to do it into your 60s for 5 years. But you can take that money out without a penalty. The danger here is if you mess that up, if you start taking money out and say, oops, I need a little more, you're going to go back and everything's going to be retroactively assessed that 10% penalty. So again, you want to do these calculations carefully, and it's not an aggregate thing. We don't have to just say, hey, this is my total IRA. We could just break off a smaller IRA, run the calculation, and give you a little bit of supplemental income. So there are ways for you to generate income at that point in time, then to avoid some of these pitfalls and some of these taxes. But going, kind of longer run, some of your earlier questions is you might be taking money now because you have this source of income. Social Security is going to be able to get flipped on and that'll change. So we just have to get a bridge from 55 to whenever that point might be. Some people still do have pension plans. So maybe we need a bridge from now into the pension plan. Or a lot of people who are entrepreneurial, a lot of retiring veterans, they have a skill set that could work in a consulting firm. They have a lot of expertise and they can provide some level of work, maybe we'll call it partial retirement. So we want to integrate that income source. So there's a lot, again, moving parts here on how we can get income to a person free of penalty, tax advantaged. But every situation's a little bit different. And, you make a mistake on that calculation as an example, that could be a big one. So you want to make sure you run those calculations properly. So if our conversation today resonates and you have any concerns about life after the paycheck ends, whether it's tomorrow, you've already started, or even 20 years from today, check us out at goodfinancial.com and go to Contact Us. And we're happy to start a conversation to help you with life after the paycheck ends.